All right, thank you for joining us again. The conversation is about governance and, of course, some sprinkle of politics in Ondo State. Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa is the governor there. He has been re-elected or elected rather. He's just served out the tenure of his late boss, Arakuri Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, who passed on. So he went to the polls, and of course, he's now the governor, executive governor of the state, again for the next 4 years. He has the mandate of the people to do all of that. So we like to look into the wheel of progress in that state, and of course, development coming from me to talk about the Sunshine State. And we have with us this morning the director of media and publicity in Ondo APC, Mr. Steve Otaloro. He joins us again. Good morning, sir, and compliments of the season to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Compliment of the season to you too. Yeah, it's good to have you again join us.
Thank you.
All right, and very, very quick one. Governor Lockyer, we had you several times in the days, weeks leading to that election, and you said your principal was going to win. You are very sure. Other candidates, other parties as well, they were that sure. And, he has been elected. He has gotten the mandate of the people to be their leader again for the next 4 years. What will you attribute that to before we go into the topic of today? Is it because the APC played these politics well, or because you think the people are excited for Governor Aiyedatiwa and they are hopeful for whatever he will bring? Is it that you played your politics well, you know what to do, you know the people to talk to, or the people are just excited for the prospect of the governor?
Thank you very much. I would say yes, it's both. I will agree with the two logics. We played our politics very well, and the people are equally excited with the governor. If you look at his trajectory, before he became governor, what he went through, the trump up charges against him at the State House of Assembly, which they wanted to impeach him while his boss was healed then, and so many allegations, serious allegations that they can't prove. And eventually went to the courts. He succeeded with these, and gradually, the people that wanted to impeach him started embracing him. That's the House of Assembly. A majority of party stalwarts that were with these people started embracing him. And the whole thing, why the people of Ondo State were watching this play out, they are more in sympathy with him than what is being played out. That is part of what, when he eventually became governor, when we fortunately lost the former governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, became governor, people embraced him, even forgetting that we lost someone when he became governor. Just to show the excitement of how people are, And when the opportunity played itself out for them to vote for him, they didn't even mince words. They went all out for him. Besides the fact that we keep telling the PDP, you see, election cycle starts almost immediately you are completing one. When we were planning for the next election, they were busy wrangling, they didn't get themselves together, and they're just waiting for the day of election. It doesn't work that way. I did not only tell you that we're going to win that election. I only told you then that we're going to win hands down 18-0. You remember? I told you 18-0. Because if you go to all the local governments, the presidents of PDPs were nowhere. Instead of the little president they have, the people there were even coming to our political party. And you win election by numbers. Popularity, you might be popular, but if you are not on ground, there are some parties that are popular in some areas, in Kano, for instance, but they are not on ground here. If you are not on ground, there's no way you could win any election. So their popularity has been diminishing with time. And the numbers reducing drastically in our favor. That's why we are so confident ahead that election that we're going to win. And this is the first time in the history of Ondo State that a single political party will be winning all the 18 local governments. That's never happened before. Even during the days of when the AD was extremely popular. You can't win. The days of UPN, when the UPN was extremely popular, you don't win the whole entire state. You still give something out for the MPN of this world and the PDP of this world. And that's what happened. That plays out in this very election. We want everything hands down. And we can only continue to thank the good people of Ondo State. We're humbled. No, we're not taking them for granted. We're very much happy for what the mandate they've given Lucky Orimiso Aiyedatiwa for the next 4 years. We will not take them for granted. We can expect nothing short of development in Ondo State as we move into the new year 2025.
All right, it's good to know. You know, I have to say, because sometimes some persons will say elections are supposed to be like a festival. You know, people should be excited to, you know, vote the person they believe in or vote out the person they don't believe in. But sometimes it's not mathematics. It's not 2 + 2. It doesn't work that way. You know, you're a politician. You should know that sometimes you might have people that are performing, and maybe they are not getting a particular party that is performing, possibly didn't get his politics right, and they might be voted out by a more pronounced and more strategic, you know, party, not because the party in power has not done well, or not because they have done well, but it's just the politics that they didn't get right. And we have many examples to that. But you said you have a bit of both. The people are excited for your principle, and of course, you know, the party played his politics very well. Granted, 18-0, it was a total, you know, annihilation of the other party. But many persons will say 4 years is never too long. The time is running now. And so he had more than a year, or close to a year, before that particular election as a governor, serving out the tenure of his former and late boss, you know, the legendary Arakun himself. And now he's in power now for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. If Ondo people, when I mean Ondo people, Ondo State people from all corners of the state will look at you and say, you are in charge right now, what will you say Governor Aiyedatiwa has done so far that he can show the people, I tell you, I'm the man for the job?
Thank you very much. Beyond playing our politics very well, and beyond people being excited that he became governor, he needs track records as well.
Right.
You know, and this is what he has shown the people 10 months into that election. On those state people, voters, electorates are discerning people. They know there's no way you can convince them to toe your line without actually showing them the capacity to do this. This, I believe, the governor have done in the last 10 months before that election. And that was part of the reason he was overwhelmingly voted for. But now that he's in power now, he still needs to show more. You see, it beckons on him to now prove his mettle that he's capable for this job, which he has been demonstrating. And if you look at the budget, what he has placed in that budget is what he has promised the people of Ondo State while he was going around the whole local government, 203 wards. The governor did not only campaign in the headquarters of each local government. He went through the nooks and crannies of all the local governments. A local government, for instance, my campaign in 6-7 places, all the communities around that local government. He looked at what's on ground, met with community leaders, all the stakeholders, the others there. They were able to make some presentation to him. And this is what he has gathered. If you look at the budget, there's nowhere in Ondo State that was left out. All the communities were captured in that budget. Now beckons on him to fulfill this promises he made for the people of Ondo State. Then we can start addressing him if he has done well or not in the next 1 year down the line. But I can assure you, if he's taken over the reign of leadership and he has done so much, so well, employing more than 2,000 teachers, both in the health sectors and in the education sectors, you know, improving on the what infrastructure he made on ground. He didn't stop. He keep pushing so that this infrastructure will finally see the light of the day. He has commissioned a multi-billion naira judicial complex These are the things he has been able to do within short time. Come to think of it, now that he has his own budget, what will he do? And that's why I said the people of those states are on board with us, with some of the promises made by Mr. Governor. And it's just how to fulfill it. All hands on deck as we move into January 2025, because if everything being equal, we'll start delivering all these things to the good people of those states. And I can assure you, as a political party, we are guiding him, we are advising him when necessary, talking to him. We are more closer to the grassroots. And he listens to us. We are equally stakeholders as a political party and as a citizen of the states. And now that we're having our local government election on January 18, this will be another litmus test for our political party and for Mr. Governor, kind of scorecard between when he won this election and January, for people to equally evaluate him. How much we can go, we equally determine how much the people of Ondo State love him. So we're equally looking in that direction as we deliver that election, that local government election come January 18. So by and large, we believe this governor meant well, and he has shown that by his scorecard. He has shown that by his commitment to the people of Ondo State, that he's just the right man for the job. We can only thank the people of Ondo State for delivering this election, for delivering their vote for him, and for trusting him and our political party. So we continue to deepen our democracy and the state of infrastructure and bringing dividend of democracy to the people of Ondo State. That's what we're going to do. I will not deter from doing that.
All right. And it's good to note that as well, talking about the development and, Ondo State, what you say he has been able to do, he's often said the moment a politician wins an election, he's already preparing for the other one. You just talked about passively now the local government elections again, to say, as a party, you are getting ready again. And many persons will say, Mr. Taluro, that if the way politicians usually prepare, head, nail, toe, the old body for elections, is the same way they put the same energy into governance, maybe Nigeria, as a state, as a country, will be more, better than all of these. Instead of just preparing to just have power, preparing to be in place. Do you agree? That is more for the Nigerian politicians to win election than actually the business of governance.
Well, the business of governance is more or less relaxed. Relaxed in the sense that there's not much pressure on you. All you need to do is do some meetings and get some contracts while the civil service work out the rest.
And that's where the problem. That's where the problem seems to be. There should be pressure. There should be pressure to deliver on the mandate, not just to relax to win elections.
It depends on who's in charge, But I'm just trying to differentiate between election and governance.
Right.
There's a lot of struggle involved in governance. There are a lot of propaganda out there. People will tell lies. You don't have to defend these lies. There's so many lies told who said about us. I can remember many times I was on the channel during that election. I had to take that time out because we need to refute some of these lies, that might eventually become true if it's not refuted. But unlike election, it's not like that. Unlike governance, it's not like that. You see, the people meant to execute government projects are the civil service. While the policymakers sit down, they will still even be the one in charge of designs and what have you. All what probably Mr. Governor will do is to approve through his ESCO. And if approval is given, then the commissioner who is in charge will have to go out. So it's now left for Mr. Governor, whoever is in charge, to always be at the toe, back and toe of all these commissioners to make sure those projects come to fruition. That's the difference. Unlike election is tedious, I must admit. And you could see Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he was going around the whole federation, some of the statements he made. Now we all watch his last debate. Presidential media chat. It was relaxed. It was relaxed. It's not like when he was traveling from one state to the other, having series of meetings. Like when he's now fully in charge. That is fully in charge doesn't mean he is relaxed while projects suffer. No. But the tension, the propaganda, everything will disappear What will be left is for him to now show his capacity to deliver. And that's what Ori has been doing, for quite some time now. We've not seen him. He's not been there on TV. He's not been there much because he's right now in his office doing the work, the people ask him to do. So you might see less of him, more of his commissioners and aides. So that's just the difference. But like I said, we are not taking in the people of Ondo State who gave us this overwhelming mandate. We're not taking them for granted. And Aida Tiwa himself, being a man of destiny, a young man who wants to leave a lasting legacy, will not rely on his hours, and we continue to work assiduously as if that will be the last day in office to deliver all these deliverables, all the things they promised the people of Ondo State, to deliver it for them, because he has a name to live. And he has a mandate to protect on behalf of the people of Ondo State. And he has the capacity. He's agile. The people can't expect nothing less. And if you look at his own history too, he doesn't even have choice than to do the right thing for the good people of Ondo State, irrespective of political affiliation.
Right.
He's looking at the entire state. He's not governor of the entire state. That's always been anyway. Not that of our political party candidate any longer. He has received the mandate of behalf of the state, and he's going to do everything possible to deliver on those promises.
All right. But quick one, moving gradually into other topic. Your former principal, the former governor of the Sunshine State, Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, CON, SCN, 21st of July 1956 to 27th of December 2023. He was a Nigerian lawyer and politician who served as governor of Ondo State from 2017 until his death in 2023. His prefix was Arakori, and of course his nickname was Aketi. It's exactly a year today that he passed on to be with his maker. You as APC, the ruling party in the state, and you as the director of media and publicity, I've had you severally on this program in which you said you had a very close personal ties with him. How much do you miss him?
Personally, I missed him a lot. And if you check out my Facebook, I've done a lot of elogies there since 2 days ago. I had my experiences with him. It's something that still resonates with me till today. I think he was a pure man, a complete gentleman. Forget about the facade he puts. You can't govern a state like Ondo State and expect not to be tough. People talk about his toughness. At the same time, you can't take away one thing, that he's a man of his words. He tells you something, take it to the bank. It's as good as done. He doesn't play politics, what people call politics, lies, politics of bitterness. He will tell you his mind and he moves on. He move on. That's him. And for that, I appreciate him so much. There are some incidents that ordinarily other people would have taken it. They told him certain things about me. The next thing, he picked up his phone. He asked me, Steve, what has so person done to you? I was shocked that a governor would call you on such a mundane issue, so to say. Not even asking someone of his aide to call you or ask you to come to see him, or even forget about what those people tell him. Take some actions on it. He had my own side of the story. It was more or less appealing to me. Okay. That is who Akeli was. On that note, I miss him a lot. And I remember when he started, the first time he came into those states, wanted to contest, I was one of the few people with him who started with him. We were driving his publicity there. So I've known him for a while, even before a lot of people came in to join us. We lost that initial election until he came back the second time. Much people around him, which he won. And he went for a second time as well, before unfortunately lost his life. We'll continue to remember him. He's an icon, a legend. You can't forget such man easily. Even Nigeria can't forget it. Not to talk of the state he is from. We put in place several programs event. Today, 27 December 2024, marked exactly a year when he left, when he died. And we put in place the government collaboration with the party as well, put in place some series of programs for today and tomorrow and on Sunday as well. We are going to have a service, a commemorative service at the church at home. So we'll line up a lot of things for him to commemorate his 1 year anniversary when he died. So personally, and as a political party, we can't forget a man like that. It's not just easy, except you don't meet him. If you meet him, you know what I'm talking about. I can't continue to express the kind of person he is. He's a different human species. He doesn't believe in political correctness. He does things the way things should be done. He will tell you to your face if you are wrong. And he's not the type that you meet and start telling him some lies about some other person. In your present, he asks for the other person to come. Oh yeah, some photo saw for me somewhere. That's the kind of, so many people have been embarrassed with this kind of behavior. Believing that you are meeting governor, you're saying some lies about someone, and you end there. You will call for that person in your present. That's who the case was. A gentleman to the core, a wonderful man. Those states will continue to remember him as long as this state remains a state for a very long time to come. A man like him, hardly for them to win election, because he will tell you what he's not going to do. If you won't permit me, I will still give you more example of the kind of person he was. During his first time was campaigning. That was the election he won initially. He got to one of the village or that village. The regent then brought a written note of what he's going to do for the village to become governor. He wants him to sign. He looked at this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. He wrote it down. He said he should sign so that the community will hold on to that. He looked at it. He said he's not going to sign. I can't be me. He forced him. I'm a lawyer. I know the implication of this, but I can assure you, I will do this. I will do this. I will do this. Majority of what's on that note, he said he's going to do it. And the cabinet was amazed. The regent. He said, but your contemporary have signed his own. Everybody there, we all laughed. That is a lie. No aspiring governor, whoever wants to sign anything, he's not telling you lie. I said, I want to sign. But since you said you are not going to sign, and you said you've taken up, you were going to do all these things, the major ones, I will take it for your words. As I speak, it's a dual carriageway from Akure to that village or that village. It's part of what he promised. He started it. It was about completing when he died. And this governor has continued on that project. That is who Aketi was. It's a man of his promise. They gave me so many Monica here. Mr. Talk and Do, Mr. Infrastructure, so many names. And when the people give you a moniker like that on their own volition, you know that you're on the right path. If they don't like you, they will give you a name, that actually resonate with your personality. They won't.
All right. Many persons will say, and obviously so, I was quite a witty man, quite a humorous man.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you say his sense of humor is top notch, and you don't get to see it coming. You agree?
Yeah, that's the truth. Just to tell you, I find it difficult to even believe he's no more. I keep referring to him in present tense, and just to tell you how devastating it is. When you remember him for a lot of things. He's an extremely witty personality, and he doesn't mince words. He will say it even in public forum. He will say whatever he wants to say. He will make jest of you openly. Things that not expected people to know about. He will say it. He will even condemn you in the presence of everybody. He's not the one that takes to correct you when you are together. He say you've done so. Don't do that again. And these are terrible things that you don't want people to know about. People will laugh over this thing. That was who Aketi was. A wonderful man.
All right.
I don't see anyone having that kind of gentleman as governor for a very long time to come. It's a different human species. We say it the way it is. He doesn't play politics. He plays politics with issues of infrastructure, issues that has to do with the people. He doesn't. He wants things done almost immediately. He get proposals and he call the one in charge. Can you get this done? And if this is not done, we even tell one the contractor, call me on social number. So who is the commissioner that will not allow it to be done, to get it executed?
All right.
And he chastises his commissioner openly, everybody openly. That's what he does.
All right.
That's why a lot of people, the people of those states love him so much. He will confront you and say, the Oba, everything, those people is arrogant. No, he will tell you, Oba, I'm not going to do what you asked for. No, Oba, in the open ceremony. But I can assure you, we've done this. It's been frank.
All right.
Telling you that.
And you know, it is being remembered today, you know, is possibly the closest persons to him ever and alive. His wife, you know, on her social media page, had his remembrance. Aketi, my love, darling, in 365 days since you left me. Your adorable Betty, it's 365 days since you left your children, Junior, Tenny, Yejidi, and Baba. It's 365 days since you left your grandchildren, Mide, Deji, Fifi, Jojo, and Yellow Man. I can't process what happened to me. I can't wrap my head around it. It feels like I'm in a trance, yet to get myself together. Che, oh death, where is the sting? And when death enters, your vibrant household turns cold. I miss you, darling, me now and forever. Hashtag Ozuemena, may it not happen again. This is, you know, the statement from the widow, you know, Betty Keredulu, PhD, in that, you know, honoring the legacy of her husband. And now, many persons, you remember I asked you a question, I think the last time you were here, that did you, moving into that election and the movement, all of it, did you had the blessings, do you have the cooperation of the late Keredulu's dynasty, his wife, his family, because many of them were missing in action towards your election? I remember I asked you that question. You said all is well, that you are doing all you can to carry them along. But now, at celebration of the man's, you know, legacy, his memorial, 1 year after, your principal put up a program to be chaired by the Lanesik Femi Falana, and the widow is not having it. She was very categorical on a social media platform to say, inferring that your principal, Governor Yedati, and she was very categorical, has disrespected his legacy. And I'm asking you this morning, Mr. Otaloro, why did the APC, or maybe better still, why did the governor, you know, move in that kind of way, and the widow is not seeing it that you are supporting her and her family and the husband's legacy? Why have you done that?
Thank you very much. You see, Arakunri was former governor from those states. And whoever is succeeding him as governor, that he died in office, is expected to do what we're doing right now. We don't have to get the permission of the family before we go ahead. But I equally agree with the family has to be invited, which the organizers have done. That she refused to accept this invitation is a different thing entirely. But as government, and more so the same political party, there are things we have to do to immortalize the legacy of our late leader. That's exactly what we're doing. We don't need the permission of anyone to do this. We just have to go ahead.
Not even,
for them to accept it or not,
not even his immediate family? I said by not even carrying along his immediate family?
Well, I don't know what you meant by carrying along. What I told you is that, you see, when we named our ultra-modern secretariat after the late Aketi, we didn't make any ceremony out of it. And we don't have to inform the family. But it was boldly written. You come to Akure, you see that building.
But don't you think it would have been better if the family members were present to honor their father in which you are celebrating?
I agree with you. The son has always been with us. The son has been part of us. You can't expect them to be on campaign ground with us. They won't do that. But they are giving their moral support. Why she decided to toe this new line of action, no one knows. Maybe it's as a result of some glitches from the organizers. That the governor will has to find out. But there's no way we'll put such a program together and not invite her. We got to know that she's pissed about the whole thing through some of her tweets and Facebook posts. And we're shocked, we're surprised. You see, Femi Falana is not only a friend, was not only a friend of Aketi, but that of the family. Falana was the most closest person to late Governor Oloruntomi Akeredolu. If we were inviting Femi Falana, don't you think Femi Falana would have asked about the wife? Femi is going to deliver that lecture. And we did all we have to do. But you see, I don't want to judge her by those text tweets, We still want to believe if there's more to it, if he has some reservation, at the right time, we'll reach out to her. But this program will not stop as I speak. That program kick off at 10 a.m. today. A series of other dinners lined up and church service at all on Sunday. Are you saying we shouldn't do anything just because it doesn't align with some of the things we want to do? If we're not doing anything, what do we even expect from the family and that of the people of the state? So we're doing within our means. As a political party, if he has anything against the person and Mr. Governor, will she still have something against the political party which her husband wants the leader of the party? These are issues we have to look at. Because if you look at that, those texts were more personal attack on Mr. Governor. I can't delve into it, but I believe this governor has done the right thing to immortalize his late boss. He has done everything. And at each fora, they pray for the soul of Mr. Governor while we're doing that election. The governor will, that's Aketi, the governor will personally call for that prayer. When the Lagos State governor was there, we did everything possible. What else do you expect? We name our secretariat after him. There's so many other projects in the pipeline. Some of his legacy that the governor is opening. He keep telling people this started by Aketi. This project started by Aketi. I'm happy to have completed it. It's open. It meant well was he has been with this governor for up to 3 years as deputy governor. He knows him very well. They know each other. Why will he now turn around? And what happened? Nobody prays for it. We all leave this world one day. But maybe it has to do with emotional nuances. We don't know. But I believe the former First Lady has not been going about this issue the right way. A woman of her status wouldn't be expecting to be expressing her emotions on tweet. Right. It's not the right way to go.
Yeah, Mr. Talaro, some will say, these developments, not just only this, there is an antecedent to that, because I remember what the interview I was referring to, because she was nowhere to be found. Yeah, she might not have been following you, but no verbal support, no logistic support. She was just there, even the entire household at that time. And that was made me add that question. Now, a few months after that, we are back here in which she was very categorical. With the benefit of hindsight, as a party, do you think the emergence of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa didn't sit down well with Mrs. Betty Akeredolu? Possibly she didn't like him.
Why wouldn't she like it? It's unfortunate what happened. No, why would she like it? It's unfortunate what happened. I tell you, Mrs. Betty Akeredolu was one of those people who was rooting for Aiyedatiwa as deputy governor. When that name was announced, we all know the role she played. She was happy, and she kept referring to Governor Aiyedatiwa as her son. On so many.
So what changed? What changed? What did you do to her?
I told you. The whole thing changed. No one knows. You see, the whole thing started by some people within the corridor of power who doesn't want Aiyedatiwa to be governor. And that's why you see some couple of resignation immediately became governor. These people who are not comfortable, who felt nothing will be sitting down well with them, with the position they occupy, going by the role they played in the past. They started resigning, even when Aiyedatiwa didn't ask anyone to resign. He has not even been in the seat, almost immediately. You see, but we know the whole story. The way it managed then, we knew that so many people were against Aiyedatiwa becoming governor. Maybe they have more insight about the health of Mr. Governor. And they believe that if this man will become governor, it will sit right with them. They started maneuvering things, started, meeting with the people of the House of Assembly, started, came up with this trump up charges. All of a sudden, we saw a series of 13 allegations. Lies, all lies against this man. And they wanted to have their way so that they will remove. And we are aware of so many lobbies going around them that who wants to be the deputy governor. If immediately you removed him, the name is a deputy governor. There are so many things that played out in Ondo State there. And I didn't want to go back, talk about this system.
All right. Now,
that would have destroyed the entire fabrics of the state politically.
Mr. Otaloro, you are one of the high-ranking members of the APC, not just a member. The decision, making unit of that party in that state. As the APC, in Ondo State, try to seek audience with her to say, what is the matter? You are part of us. We should be supporting you. Have you done that, or you have just called a bluff?
Yeah, yesterday we issued a statement, to commemorate his 1 year anniversary. The chairman of the party who just issued a tribute to that effect. He was even asking me, maybe I'll be at Owo today, just to tell you there's another program lined up at Owo. The chairman of the party was one of the closest person to Mrs. Betty Mrs. Betty Akeredolu, one of the.
All right, we'll try and establish connection with Mr. Otaloro again, because in that tweet, it has really gone viral now. The Akiti's widow, that's Mrs. Betty Anyao Akeredolu, that's the way handle is on Twitter, was very, very categorical. And she said, purported Akiti lecture by Ondo State government. We'll try and have Mr. Otaloro back with us. Lucky can't be serious. These are very categorical words. And if Mrs. Betty, she doesn't hold back for whatever she believes in. Almost identical with her husband. Maybe not as, the husband might not be as forthcoming because as she will be. But then she said, Lucky can't be serious. Which legacy? And then, emoji and lecture, my food. This is not for Akiti because I and my family are not aware. And, says some other things. Damn it. As the saying goes, you and your co-travelers cannot share Akiti's head in his absence. You cannot weep more than the bereaved. This is an insidious propaganda carried too far. Lucky, you are preoccupied with rubbishing Akiti's legacy. You can't succeed anyway. Anybody close to Akiti and Arabian becomes your enemy. Your minions are scared to get close, otherwise they lose their appointment. Now you want to pretend by organizing one year lecture for Akiti's memorial as an entry point to chop money on Akiti's head? You are on your own. If this is not #Yahoo, #419 lecture, tell me what it is. This is from the verified handle of Mrs. Akeredolu saying, no, we haven't been invited. You have not. How can you shave our head using a word in our absence? Mr. Otaloro said the other time that, okay, the party can always go ahead to celebrate their leader, that has passed on, and they have been invited as well. But she is saying, you can't do that in our absence. You can't do that by, shaving our heads or shaving Aketi's head in his absence. That's using our word. So he suggests that all obviously, apparently, and, visibly is not well between the Aketi's clan, at least as shown by the widow and Mrs. Betty Akeredolu. And for somebody possibly watching and you are feeling the interchange of the word Aketi and Akeredolu is the late Arakunrin Akeredolu, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, that the nickname, is Aketi. So I think that set is clear. But many persons who are not too close with our story or with the man might be saying, is Aketi, who is Akeredolu? Is the same man, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu is the name. And of course, Aketi is the nickname. The prefix was and his Arakuri. So I think that set is very clear. We'll try and have, Katie's, Mr. Otaloro back as well. But then, the man's legacy speaks for itself. Of course, while he was a politician, many persons would not like him, and justifiably so. Many persons would, many persons would celebrate him, many persons might say that he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but it was as part of his achievement. He was former NBA national president. So he wasn't a small man, so to say. But then the way he played his politics, it depends on who you are asking, and quite witty, I must say. Part of what he did, was his, just like Mr. Otaloro said, the way he does his things is humor. I don't know if that video is ready. There is a clip we would like you to watch, to see rather, of the late Akeredolu while he was alive. And, in the presence, I think it was a church service, in the presence of many eminent politicians. He took a subject topic and he had to make a humor of it, but even passing the message, possibly, what if the material is ready, will allow you to know. But then we take this quick break. When we return, we take it home from there. Stay with us.